My intuition is telling me there'll be better days.
What's up, fam? Welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be for those of you who need help building your confidence. And I mean, I think it's something that everyone should be working on, because confidence is something you have to keep working on. You can't just do some work and then, you know, stop and expect your confidence to still be at the same level. It's something that you have to continually work at and make sure you're not slipping into old negative beliefs and negative thinking. So if you would like to hear the 10 ways to increase confidence that I have found most effective for me, then keep on watching. And if you do like this video, please let me know by giving it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel before you leave. So, alright. So why is having confidence important, basically? And the benefits of having a higher level of confidence are you're going to have a greater sense of self-worth. You're going to know your worth. And when you know your self-worth, you will not tolerate being treated any less than that. So another benefit is when you have more confidence, you just enjoy life and activities more. And, you know, that's what we're here to do. We're here to enjoy our life and to, you know, make connections and friends and relationships. And when you have confidence, you're more likely to put yourself in, you know, situations that you might not want to put yourself in if you have low self-esteem and low confidence. Another benefit is freedom from self-doubt. When you have low self-esteem, you don't believe in your capability to do things, so you're always doubting yourself. When you have confidence, you feel better about your capabilities, and you're going to be more motivated to achieving your goals. So the 10 ways that these are what I have found work best for me personally, but hopefully this will help, you know, spark some ideas within you that, you know, of things that you can actually take action on to start increasing your self-esteem. So the first one is the most superficial of them all, but it's dress to impress. And when I had critically low self-esteem, the clothes I wore were baggy, and I was trying to hide my body, and I was trying to hide myself. And, you know, I would never wear anything tight or anything super sexy, because I didn't want that attention on me. So, you know, I wore clothes to kind of hide my body. And majority of my life, I never wore makeup. I didn't get into makeup until my 20s, and it was because that's when I finally started to have some confidence, and I wanted to put an effort into my appearance. When I didn't have any self-esteem, I could barely look at myself in the mirror, let alone want to spend time, you know, putting makeup on or just putting any effort into my appearance. And along with that is posture. This is something I am horrible at because I have a bad back, so it's hard. It hurts for me to stand up properly, but I have to constantly remind myself to, you know, align my posture, put my shoulders back. And, you know, that's just because that body language will, you know, if you're slumped over, that is the body language of someone who is not confident, whereas someone who has good posture is, you know, portrays being confident. And, you know, like I said, makeup, you know, you don't have to go full glam like I do, but just putting the effort into your appearance and looking your best, it's gonna make you feel better. I honestly, when I'm, you know, dressed up and I have done everything to look my best, I feel so much better, and I'm just yeah, I know I look good. But I was reading something in a book, and it was just, I think it was about embracing your femininity. And one of the things was, it said to wear sexy like underwear, lingerie, like just for yourself. You know, like we have all this like sexy lingerie, but we save it for men. It's like, and then, you know, we don't ever wear it for ourselves. So I wore like some sexy underwear to work one night, and it was crazy how different I felt. I felt like sexy, and I was like, oh, I have a secret nobody knows. But it's just goes to show that what you wear can really affect how you feel about yourself. So number 2, and it's going to be to get artistic, express yourself positively. And this is kind of how I got, you know, turned on to makeup, was because I was in a very dark place in my life, and I needed to build my confidence. And, you know, especially being a Cancer, I'm so emotional. I needed to express myself creatively, which I was not doing. I was so focused on my relationships that I wasn't, you know, expressing myself. And once I found makeup, it was, you know, a positive way for me to express myself and my creativity. And, you know, it doesn't have to be makeup. It can be painting. It can be, you know, I went to like a wine and paint thing with my friends. It can be music. It can be anything. There are so many things these days. Like I have a Cricut that, you know, I'm creating, I'm making shirts and just doing something that is creative. Alright, my number 3 tip is gratitude. Being grateful for the things we have. And it's so easy, and in our mind it's kind of automatically drawn to focus on what we don't have. But when you focus on what you don't have, you're just going to attract more of what you don't have, the law of attraction. But when you are grateful for the things you do have, it helps you to realize how much you really do have to be grateful for. When I journal, one of the first things I do is I will list 2 or 3 things that I'm grateful for that day. And another really good exercise is to go A to Z, all the letters of the alphabet, and for each letter, pick a word that starts with that letter that is in your life that you're grateful for. And you start to realize how much you really do have to be grateful for. Number 4 is going to be positive affirmations. Affirmations like changed my life. I remember when I first heard about them, and I was trying to start with just a basic one, saying I love myself, and it was so unnatural for me. And I remember thinking, this is never going to feel comfortable to say. I'm never going to be comfortable saying this. But we tend to believe what we tell ourselves. So if you tell yourself something for so long, you're going to start to believe it. And that was something that I did start to believe. And I just never thought that I would. Some good ones. The past has no power over me anymore. I compare myself only to my highest self. I focus on progress and decide to let go of perfection. That was a big one for me. Being an INFJ, I'm a perfectionist. So I had to focus on making progress, not perfection. I give up the habit of criticizing myself. I take 100% responsibility of my life. I love myself and I like myself. I am strong. I am bigger than this. So yeah, but you can just Google affirmations about anything and make them specific to you and things that, you know, you want to work on. If you know, you don't feel a certain way and want to feel that way, you know, pick ones that relate to you. Number 5, question your inner critic. And we all have that inner critic where we make a mistake and we're like, oh, you're so fucking stupid. Like, why'd you do that? And when you do that, catch yourself and be like, okay, why do I think I'm stupid? What evidence is there to support that? Like, well, there really isn't any, because I'm actually a very intelligent person. Okay, so then why am I, you know, calling myself stupid and calling myself an idiot? And it was because I made a mistake. But, you know, we wouldn't be that harsh with our friends or anyone else we have to learn to forgive ourselves when we make mistakes. Making mistakes is part of the human experience. Everyone makes mistakes. You're going to make them sooner or later. So you need to start learning to forgive yourself for them. That was something I had to start doing. And also rewarding yourself when you accomplish something. And this can be anything. Like, you know, oh, I ran a few errands that I needed to do. Okay, like, acknowledge, you know, say, oh, I'm proud of you for accomplishing this. Or something. So in this law of attraction planner that I have, every month it would have set rewards if you achieve your goals. So then goal achieved, and then your reward after achieving it. And that's how we build habits. We have to, our efforts have to be rewarded. But when it's your goals, the only person that is going to reward you for them is yourself. It's not like in school where you take a test and you get a grade back and, you know, oh, I got an A, that's your reward. When it's, you know, you're an adult and it's your life and you set these goals, there's no feedback. It has to come from you. So number 6, we were just kind of talking about this, but find a passion, set goals. Find something that you are passionate about. This really, really increased my confidence, and it just kind of changed my whole life, because for so long my passion and my goals were to find a husband and to, you know, focus on my relationship. Like, that's what I was passionate about. I didn't have like my own identity and my own goals and hobbies. And so all of, you know, my energy went into these men and their goals. And once I really started to set my own and saw what it was I wanted, it was so easy for me to start taking action. It's like once I set a goal, I will do whatever it takes to accomplish that. Once I actually wrote them down and saw them and made action steps, it was really easy for me to take action. And so, you know, here is this was back before I started my YouTube channel. My very first goal is YouTube. And then it has, I can't read it, what are the major steps to make this happen? So, you know, like I said, whatever I wrote down, I made sure that I did it. It's like once I tell myself I'm going to do something, it's like I make a commitment to myself to do it. And, you know, so you start small. You can have big dreams. There's nothing wrong with it. It's actually good. The bigger, the better. But you have to break it up into like achievable steps and small steps at first. And then once you start, you know, checking off each of the steps, you start to feel more confident about your ability to accomplish that goal. Okay, my number 7 way to increase confidence is to journal, and really just self-discovery in general. And journaling helps you uncover your subconscious and uncover the things that you really want in life and the way you really feel. And, you know, physically writing in it is the only way that, you know, these things can come out. And it's because when you are physically writing, the act of, you know, moving your hand, the pen to the paper, occupies the left side of your brain and allows the right side, a more creative and subconscious side of your brain, to come out. So that's why, you know, sometimes I'll be writing something and all of a sudden I'll have a memory that I had completely forgotten up until that point, but it just suddenly came to me and I would start writing about it. And journaling has helped me to recognize what I want, recognize my emotions and kind of work through them and really just get to know myself, which has been life-changing for me. And that's another thing, when you know really know yourself, know your values, know your worth, know what you want in a partner, know your strengths, your weaknesses, you have that confidence because you have taken the time to know these things, and there's no, doubt in your mind that it is authentically you. Number 8 way to increase confidence, there's kind of 2 parts to this. The first one is to speak up. And when I had low self-esteem, I would never really voice my opinion, or because I didn't think, I was like, who would care about what I think. I also wouldn't stand up for myself. But once I really got to know myself and know the things I believe, and I had to take a look at my belief system, and I recognized that a large majority of my belief systems were false, negative beliefs that I learned in childhood, that I had to create new healthy beliefs. And so now when I believe something, I know I've taken the time to consider all the possible options and made a decision on how I feel. So if that topic comes up, I am confident in speaking my opinion and saying how I feel about that topic. And I realize that the things that I have to say do have worth or do have value, and I just need to learn. I needed to learn to speak up more. And something else that I had to do, and you wouldn't think it would help with your confidence, but it does, and it's asking for help. I think that I can do everything by myself and I don't need anyone to help me, but I end up doing too much and becoming exhausted, or I would just do things the hard way because I didn't want to ask for help. I saw it as a sign of weakness, but it's not. And it helps build connections. All right, number 9, help someone else. Be selfless. Volunteer. Just do something that has no self-gain at all, just to help someone else. And when you do that, when you see the effect you have, that when you've helped someone, you're like, oh, I do have value in this world, and that helps build your confidence. And it also helps, just put things in perspective. You see how, fortunate you are compared to other people. And my number 10 way to increase confidence is to create personal boundaries. And this is something that I had to figure out when I was doing my self-discovery. What are my personal boundaries? What areas do I have issues with personal boundaries, and where my boundaries are weak or non-existent? And I had to go through, I actually have a video I made about creating your boundaries. I will put a link up here. But I basically didn't have any boundaries. And when you don't have any boundaries, or you don't enforce your boundaries, people are going to take advantage of you and use you. And when you have low self-esteem, you don't believe you have the right to have these boundaries. And I just wasn't able to stand up for myself and say, no, I'm not going to do this, or whatever it may be. But once you have those boundaries and you start enforcing them, your confidence increases, because you see that you have control over how you let people treat you and who you let in your life. Alright guys, so those are my 10 tips to increase your confidence. Let me know your favorite tip in the comments below, or just if you've had any issues with confidence. And like I said before, it's something that I have to continually work at, and it's not easy work, but it is definitely worth it. And it'll make you'll start having a life you want to live. Alright guys, I will see you in my next video.